When I first came to the monastery, I carried with me a storm that I could not name. My thoughts were restless waves, crashing against one another in confusion and longing. I thought peace meant silence and escape from the noise of life. But the Master told me, peace is not found in running away from the current is found in learning to float. At first, I didn't understand. How could I trust something unseen? How could I surrender when all my life I had been taught to fight, to hold on, to control? The idea of letting go frightened me more than the chaos itself. Yet, one morning, the Master asked me to sit by the river that flowed behind the temple. Do not meditate, he said softly. Just watch. The air was cool, and the water glimmered like glass under the morning light. I watched leaves drift by, each one carried gently by the current. Some leaves twirled in circles. Some got caught on small stones before being released again. None of them resisted. None of them tried to swim against the flow. The river carried them effortlessly, without question, without fear. And in that quiet movement, I saw something that words could not explain. Truth that the Master had been pointing to all along, for a long while. I just sat there, breathing with the rhythm of the water. The longer I watched, the more my own mind began to slow down. The constant stream of worries, the never-ending what-ifs, began to fade into the background. In their place, there was only the sound of flowing water, the song of a few distant birds, and a deep stillness that seemed to rise from within me. That day, I realized that life itself is much like that river. We are all drifting through time, experiences, joys, and sorrows. Sometimes we try to fight the current, clinging to things that are already meant to pass. Sometimes we rush ahead, chasing after what is not yet meant for us. And in doing so, we lose the grace of simply being carried, trusting that where we are is exactly where we need to be. The Master later told me, when you hold on too tightly, you suffer. When you trust the flow, peace finds you. I carried those words in my heart, but their meaning would take time to bloom. It is not easy to trust life. The human mind is restless, wants answers, control, certainty. But life is not a puzzle to be solved. It is a river to be experienced. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, I walked again to the same riverbank. The air was warmer now, painted in gold and amber hues. I felt the same water flow past my feet, gentle yet unstoppable. I thought about the moments I had resisted, life relationships I held on to too tightly, dreams I forced to happen, fears I could not let go of. All that struggle had been like swimming against the current, exhausting and painful. But here, watching the endless river, I felt a quiet acceptance rising in my chest. The truth was simple. I didn't need to control everything. I didn't need to fix every uncertainty. Just as the river knew where to go, life too has its own direction. Even when I cannot see it, all I needed to do was trust it, to let the flow of life carry me where I was meant to be. The crickets began their nightly song, and the sky deepened into indigo. I closed my eyes and listened not just to the sounds around me, but to the rhythm within me. My heartbeat, slow and steady, pulsed like the current itself. In that stillness, I finally understood what the Master meant. To trust the flow of life is not to give up, it is to awaken. It is to realize that you are not separate from the river, that the same force guiding the water also guides your heart. From that night onward, whenever I felt lost or uncertain, I would return to the river. Sometimes I spoke aloud to it, as if it were an old friend. Sometimes I said nothing at all. Each time it reminded me of the same truth. Life moves, changes, and transforms without our permission, and that is the beauty of it. Peace doesn't come when everything is perfect. It comes when we stop trying to make it so. When we release our grip and allow the current to hold us, we discover that the river was never our enemy, was our teacher all along. As the moonlight shimmered over the gentle waves, I felt a deep calm settle inside me. The storm that once raged within had softened into quiet ripples, and in that silence, I finally whispered to myself, I trust the flow. There was once a small leaf that clung tightly to the branch of an old tree by the riverbank. The wind had begun to whisper of change, of the coming season when the tree would shed what it no longer needed. But the leaf, trembling under the golden light of autumn, was afraid. If I let go, it thought, where will I go? What if the wind takes me somewhere unknown? What if I am lost forever? Day after day, it held on tighter. Around it, other leaves began to drift away gracefully, carried by the gentle river breeze. They twirled and danced in the sunlight, trusting the invisible hands that carried them. But the little leaf couldn't find that trust within itself. It believed safety was in holding on, not knowing that clinging would only delay the peace waiting beyond. One morning, the old tree spoke in a soft, wise voice. My dear leaf, it said, you have been with me through storms and sunshine. You have absorbed light and given life to my branches. But now, your time here has come to an end. The river waits for you. The sky calls to you. Let go. The leaf trembled. I'm afraid, it whispered. I don't know what will happen once I fall. The tree replied, neither did I when I first took root. The earth held me and I grew. The same life that carried me will carry you too. Trust the flow, little one. A breeze passed through the forest, gentle yet persistent. The leaf loosened its grip, and for the first time, it felt the soft embrace of air. The moment it let go, fear turned into wonder. It drifted upward before slowly beginning to fall. The world it had once seen from above now stretched vast and open before it. The river shimmered like a mirror below, reflecting the endless sky. As it touched the water's surface, the leaf expected to sink, but instead it floated. The current took it gently, cradling it in rhythm. "I'm moving," the leaf thought in awe, "but I'm not lost." The river hummed softly beneath it, whispering songs of faraway places and unseen destinations. The water did not rush or demand. It simply carried with perfect balance and quiet strength. The leaf floated past stones, over small ripples, beneath bridges, and over sunlight dappled patches of water. Every moment brought something new. Once, it was caught between two rocks, and fear returned. "Is this the end?" it wondered. But the river whispered again, "Patience. Even the still moments are part of the journey." And soon enough, the current shifted, freeing it once more. The leaf began to notice how everything along the river had its own way of flowing. Fish swimming with effortless grace, reeds swaying with the rhythm of the breeze, even fallen petals floating alongside in silent companionship. None resisted their paths. The leaf realized that every living thing was part of the same movement, each guided by something greater than itself. Days passed, and the river carried the leaf through changing landscapes. Sometimes the water ran calm and glassy, reflecting clouds like dreams. Sometimes it roared with power, crashing against hidden rocks. In those moments, the leaf was tossed and turned, its edges torn by the force. It cried out silently, "Why is the journey so rough?" And again, the river answered, "To teach you that peace does not mean stillness. It means trusting me even when I am wild. It means knowing that every turn, every current is leading you home." Eventually, the river widened into a great lake where the water was vast and still. The leaf drifted out onto the open surface, bathed in the warmth of the afternoon sun. It had traveled far, carried by something it once feared. Now, in that stillness, it felt lighter than ever before. Not because it had control, but because it had surrendered completely. Floating there, it remembered the old tree's words, "Trust the flow." Those words now made sense in a way they never could before. The leaf understood that life is not about clinging to what we know. It is about releasing ourselves to what we cannot yet see. Every moment of letting go brings us closer to peace. As night approached, stars began to shimmer on the lake's surface. The leaf looked up at the vast sky above and saw itself reflected in the water below. Small, fragile, yet part of something endless. The breeze caressed its edges softly, and the leaf whispered to the wind, "I'm not afraid anymore." In the quiet that followed, the river's voice grew faint but clear, echoing through the still night air. "You were never separate from me," it said. "Even when you held onto the tree, you were part of the flow. You only had to realize it." The leaf smiled within its tiny being, knowing the journey was never about the destination. It was about learning to trust what carries us, to stop resisting the gentle guidance of life. And in that moment, as the moonlight rippled across the water, the leaf became one with the current, no longer clinging, no longer fearing, simply being. When I think back to that story, I see myself in that leaf. For so long, I too clung to what I thought was safe: people, memories, beliefs, control. I was terrified to let go, believing that surrender meant loss. But the river, in its timeless wisdom, showed me the truth. Letting go was never the end. It was the beginning of peace. Now, when I stand beside the water and see leaves drifting past, I bow my head to them. Each one carries a silent teaching that life flows whether we resist it or not, and that our only task is to trust its direction. Because even when we do not know where we are being carried, life always knows. And in that knowing, in that gentle, endless flow, peace finds us. I remember a monk who lived in a small, quiet temple at the edge of a forest. His robes were simple, his meals sparse, yet there was a light about him that drew people near. Travelers would come from distant villages seeking wisdom, and they often asked him, "How do you find such peace when the world outside is so full of suffering?" The monk would smile softly and tell them, "I have learned to let go." But no one could understand what he meant. How could a person simply let go of life's burdens, of grief, anger, and desire? So he would tell them a story, one that I carry with me still. There was a time when he was young and restless, full of ambition and fear. He sought wealth, recognition, and love, thinking that these would make him safe, make him whole. But each time he grasped something, it slipped through his fingers. A friend betrayed him. A dream failed. A hope was shattered. And with every loss, he felt the sharp sting of attachment. The weight of his clinging grew heavier than he could bear. One evening, after a particularly painful disappointment, he walked into the forest alone. The sky was deep purple, the first stars faintly shimmering, and the air was cool with the scent of earth and pine. He sat beside a small stream, letting the soft murmur of water fill the silence. And there, in that quiet, he began to notice the truth he had avoided for so long. Every struggle, every moment of suffering had come from holding too tightly to what could not be held. "I have been grasping life," he whispered to himself, "and in doing so, I have only chained my own heart." The wind rustled through the trees, as if it understood his sorrow. Leaves floated on the water, moving effortlessly downstream. He watched them, one after another, and realized that their peace came from surrender. They did not resist the current. They did not demand the river to move differently. They simply allowed themselves to flow, and in that allowing, they were free. In that moment, the monk made a choice. He chose to release not the world, but his attachment to it. He let go of anger, of bitterness, of expectations and fear. It was not easy. The first days were filled with tremors of doubt, questions that would not rest. What if letting go means I lose everything? What if I am left with nothing? But slowly, with patience and practice, he felt a transformation. He noticed the small joys that had been hidden under the weight of his desire. The warmth of the sun on his face, the gentle flow of the stream, the song of birds in the trees. He began to see that life itself was teaching him not through harsh punishment, but through quiet guidance. Each moment, each breath was a lesson in surrender. Travelers who came to the temple would ask again, "How do you find peace?" And the monk would lead them to the stream, asking them to watch the leaves float, to listen to the water, to feel the rhythm of life around them. "Let go of your need to control," he would say. "Trust that the river will carry you where you are meant to be." Peace does not come from holding. It comes from allowing. I often think of that monk when I struggle. His serenity is not born from escaping life, but from embracing it fully without grasping. He showed me that letting go does not mean weakness. It is the strength to face impermanence without fear, to accept that loss, change, and uncertainty are not enemies, but teachers. Sometimes I imagine him walking through the forest, bare feet brushing against moss and fallen leaves, the wind whispering secrets of the trees. I can almost hear him laughing softly at the futility of worry, at the human habit of clutching at things that will inevitably pass. He has surrendered to the flow. Yet he remains fully alive, fully aware, fully free. And in that freedom, he has discovered the essence of peace, a deep calm that is unshaken by circumstance, a heart that is neither imprisoned by attachment nor scattered by desire. The world may still be full of suffering, but the monk has learned the quiet truth that suffering only persists when we resist life as it is. As I recall his story, I feel a gentle stirring inside me, a reminder that my fears, my frustrations, my grasping for control are only weights I choose to carry. And if I too can learn to let go, even a little, I can taste the same freedom. the same inner peace that the monk carries effortlessly with him. The night falls quietly now, and the stars reflect on the temple roof. I close my eyes and remember the words he spoke to me once. When you release your grasp, the world releases you. Trust in the flow, and peace will find you, even in the midst of life's chaos. I sit with that thought, letting it sink deep into my being, like water soaking into the earth. And I begin to understand that peace is not something to be found outside, nor is it something to achieve. It is the natural state that arises when we stop clinging, when we allow ourselves to flow with the current of life. Just as the monk did, and just as the leaves on the river do. Sit quietly and take a deep breath. Feel the air as it moves into your lungs, filling you gently, and then let it leave, carrying away tension you may not even have noticed. With each breath, allow your body to become heavier, sinking into the surface beneath you. Notice how your shoulders soften, how your hands rest naturally, how your jaw releases the small tightness it has held for far too long. There is no need to force anything. Simply be. Bring your attention to the present moment. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat, steady and unwavering, like a drum guiding you into stillness. Thoughts may arise, they always do, but do not chase them. Observe them as if they are clouds passing through the sky, ever changing, never permanent. Each thought is a wave, and you are the calm sea beneath, untouched by their movement. Imagine a river flowing in front of you. Its waters are clear, reflecting sunlight and shadows, moving effortlessly along its path. See a single leaf drifting on the surface, turning with the currents, floating freely. In your mind, place your worries on that leaf. Watch them as they are carried downstream, further and further away, leaving you lighter, calmer, more at peace. The river does not judge the leaf. It simply carries it, and in that simplicity, there is profound wisdom. Now, allow your mind to expand, embracing the gentle awareness of your body and surroundings. Feel your feet resting, the earth beneath supporting you completely. Feel the warmth or coolness of the air, the subtle pressure where your body meets the surface, the quiet hum of life around and within you. Each sensation is a reminder that you exist in this moment, that you are alive, and that this presence itself is a form of peace. As you breathe, notice the spaces between your thoughts. These spaces are as important as the thoughts themselves. In the silence between, there is clarity, a subtle understanding that all is impermanent, all is flowing, and yet everything is exactly as it should be. Your mind does not need to control this moment. Your heart does not need to force understanding. Simply let yourself rest in the awareness of now, Consider the patterns of your life, the currents that have carried you here. Some were swift, some slow, some were gentle, some turbulent. Each one brought you to this very moment. Reflect on the idea that just as the river carries the leaf, life carries you. You are held even when you cannot see the path ahead. Trust that what comes to you and what passes from you both belong to this river of existence. Let go of any lingering tension in your body. Let go of the small resistances within your mind. Allow the natural rhythm of your breath to guide you deeper into stillness. If any fear or worry surfaces, acknowledge it without judgment and imagine placing it on a drifting leaf, watching it carried away effortlessly by the river dot. With each exhale, feel yourself merging with the calm around you. With each inhale, draw in peace, light, and clarity. You are part of a vast, flowing world, moving in harmony with it, not against it. You do not need to hold on to outcomes, explanations, or certainties. The river knows its course. So do you, in your own way, know that you are exactly where you need to be. Allow your awareness to settle deeper. The stillness within is always present beneath the surface of noise and thought. Feel it now, like the quiet current beneath the water. This inner stillness is yours to return to whenever the world feels overwhelming. It is a sanctuary, a place of renewal and clarity as you remain here. In this calm reflection, notice the sense of space that opens within. You are both observer and participant, flowing with life while resting in the quiet center of your being. There is no rush. There is no demand. Just the gentle unfolding of this present moment. The awareness of your own breathing and the knowledge that, like the river, you are carried, supported, and free. When you are ready, gently bring your attention back to your body, feeling the surface beneath, the subtle movements of your limbs, the rhythm of your heart. Carry this calm awareness with you, knowing that the stillness you have touched in this moment is always within reach. Even amidst the currents of life, you can return to this quiet place, trusting that the flow continues and that you are part of it, peaceful and whole. The day has grown quiet, and the soft light of evening settles over the world. As you lie here, ready to rest, allow your body to sink fully into comfort. Feel the surface beneath you supporting every curve, every weight, every part of you. Let your muscles relax completely, releasing the small tensions you may have carried throughout the day. Your shoulders are heavy and soft, your hands resting easily, your jaw unclenched. There is nothing to do right now but breathe and be. Draw in a slow, deep breath, feeling it fill your lungs, and then exhale gently, letting go of the day. With each breath, imagine yourself becoming lighter, as if invisible threads are lifting away the burdens and thoughts that no longer serve you. There is no rush. There is no expectation. You are simply here, in this moment, and that is enough. Imagine a river flowing softly in the night. Its surface glimmers with a faint reflection of moonlight, smooth and calm. A single leaf drifts on its waters, moving effortlessly, turning gently with the current. In your mind, place yourself on that leaf. Let the river carry you slowly, peacefully, toward rest. The water does not hurry. It does not struggle. It simply flows, and in its flowing, it guides you gently into stillness as you float on this imaginary river. Notice the sounds around you. Perhaps there is a soft breeze, the distant call of an owl, or the quiet hum of the night. Let these sounds remind you that life continues in a gentle rhythm, that you are part of this world, carried along by its natural flow. You are safe. You are supported. You are exactly where you need to be. Now, bring your awareness to your body once more. Feel your heartbeat, steady and calm, echoing the slow movement of the river. Each beat is a reminder of your presence, of your life, and of the peace that resides within. Any remaining thoughts that arise can simply drift away, like clouds passing over the sky. There is no need to chase them. There is no need to hold them. Just watch and let them pass. Think of the lessons of the day, of the stories you have heard, the leaf drifting freely on the river, the monk who let go, the quiet reflection by the flowing stream. Let these images settle in your mind, not as instructions or rules, but as gentle reminders of trust, surrender, and peace. Life flows, and so can you. The currents of the world carry you effortlessly when you allow them to, and in that allowance, you find rest. Feel the rhythm of your breath slowing naturally, in tune with the river, in tune with the night. Inhale deeply and exhale softly, feeling yourself sink further into comfort. Each exhale is a release. Each inhale is a gentle gathering of calm. Allow this rhythm to guide you, carrying you gently towards sleep. Your mind may wander, and that is natural. If thoughts come, observe them without judgment and imagine them floating away on tiny leaves, carried downstream. Return your attention to the breath, to the feeling of your body resting, to the river that moves you with gentle ease. Now, imagine the sky above the river, vast and starry. Each star shines with quiet light, distant yet familiar. A reminder of the vastness of the universe and the endless possibilities it holds. You are part of this expanse, small yet significant, carried with care by the flow of life. Let the sky and the river merge in your mind. A calm, endless space where nothing is hurried, nothing is demanded, nothing is forced as your body continues to relax. Feel a sense of surrender spreading through you. Release every last tension, every worry, every thought that clings. Trust the flow of your own existence as you have learned from the river, the leaf, and the monk. Peace is not found in holding, not found in resisting. Peace is found in letting go, in trusting, in being carried effortlessly by the rhythm of life itself. With every breath, sink deeper into this understanding. Allow the stillness to grow, filling every corner of your mind and body. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready to rest. The night, the river, the quiet, all surround you, guiding you towards sleep. And now, as the final moments of wakefulness drift away, imagine yourself floating gently. The river carrying you toward a place of perfect rest. Let your eyelids grow heavy. Let your mind soften. Let the gentle flow of life carry you fully, tenderly into sleep. There's nothing to hold on to. There is nothing to chase. Just breathe, just drift, and allow the peaceful night to embrace you completely. Sleep now, knowing that you are part of the endless flowing river of life, held in its calm and gentle embrace. All is well, all is at peace, all is as it should be.